Diatonic chords. What are they and why are they so important? Well, today I'm going to teach you every single diatonic chord in every single key. I'm even going to show you all the diatonic seventh chords as well. And I say every chord in every key, but thanks to some really cool music theory tricks, you'll only actually need to learn the shapes in one key to know them in all the keys. So let's get into it. By the way, I'll have all 12 scales, keys, and every major, minor, and seventh chord shape available as a downloadable e-booklet over on my Patreon. A link to that will be at the top of the description of this video. So every song you've ever heard is made up of different combinations of chords called chord progressions. And when coming up with these chord progressions, songwriters have to make sure the chords they choose sound good together. The main way they do this is by combining chords that are in the same key. Chords that come from the same key are called diatonic chords. So what is a key and how do we get our diatonic chords out of that key? Well, every key is based on a corresponding major scale. So the key of C major comes from the C major scale. The key of G major comes from the G major scale, and so on and so forth. You probably know the major scale as Do, Re, Mi, Fa, Sol, La, Ti, Do, and it sounds like this. And whichever of the 12 notes in music that you start that major scale on, that will be the name of the scale. So we just started on a C note, giving us the C major scale. We could start that same scale on an E note, and we'd have an E major scale. So let's take a C major scale and write out the 7 individual notes. We've got C, D, E, F, G, A, B, and then we end it back on the same note we started on, C. Now we're going to give each of these notes a number 1 through 7. And to get the diatonic chords for the key of C major from this C major scale, we apply a formula called the major-minor formula. This formula dictates that the 1, 4, and 5 notes are major chords, the 2, 3, and 6 notes are minor chords, and the 7th note is a diminished chord. Following this formula makes sure that all these chords only contain notes that come from the scale, meaning they'll all flow together and always sound good together. If I were to change just one chord slightly, like making the 6th chord a major chord, it would throw the whole thing off. Now, before I give you the chord shapes themselves, I want to make sure you fully understand the theory here, because nothing changes when we do this for any other key. Let's go to the key of G major. A G major scale has the notes G, A, B, C, D, E, and F sharp, and then we end back on a G. By numbering these notes and applying the major-minor formula, we'd end up with a G major, A minor, B minor, C major, D major, E minor, and F sharp diminished. Once again, we'd have our 7 diatonic chords that all strictly contain notes from the G major scale. So let's talk about the chord shapes, because this is where knowing bar chords goes a really long way. Obviously, you can use open chords to play many of the chords we've covered so far. But once you start moving into weirder keys like F sharp major or E flat minor, open chords just aren't gonna cut it. And the great thing about bar chords is that once you know a shape, you can just slide it up or down the fretboard to play any other chord of the same type. So G major bar chord, same shape. G sharp major bar chord, same shape again. A major, A sharp major, etc. So to make sure we cover all our bases, I'm going to show you all the bar chord shapes in both the keys of C major and G major. Let's start with the key of C major. The first chord here is a C major chord using an A-shaped bar chord. So this looks a lot like an A major shape, and this is rooted on the A string. So that's a C note there. That's why we know this is a C major bar chord. Then we go to D minor for our 2 chord, and this just has a small adjustment from the same shape we used before. Now it is a minor chord, and again rooted on the A string. Our 3 chord is the same shape, just up 2 frets. We get an E minor. Then for our 4 chord, we're actually going to change and go all the way down here, and we're going to be using an E-shaped bar chord, an E major shaped bar chord that is rooted on the low E string. So that is an F note right there, meaning this is an F major chord. Same thing again for the G major. We just slide it up 2 frets, rooted on that G major note, so we get G major. Then we go to an A minor. So we slide this up 2 frets and we just remove that 1 finger just to make it a minor chord shape. It becomes an E minor shape. And because it's rooted on an A note right here, that makes it an A minor. Then our 7 chord, so we get a B diminished, right? Now, these shapes are not the most fun to work with, so to get the most out of the chord, I like to skip right to the 7 chord version of this. So spoiler, we're gonna be learning the shape later as well. It's gonna work for the 7 chords, but it works really well just as a regular chord as well. So this is what we get here. We get this. And this is based on an E minor shape. It's just very adjusted. We are located right here, our root note on a B note. So that makes this a B minor 7 flat 5 chord. So again, it's like that before we return to our 1 chord. The key of G major is next, and we're gonna start with a G major chord rooted on the low E string. That's a G note. So this chord looks like this. Then our 2 chord, we've got an A minor. Then our 3 chord, we've got a B minor. Then we go up to our 4 chord, we're gonna go up to the A string, recognize this chord for a C major. Next, we've got a D major. Then we've got an E minor. And then lastly, we've got this F sharp diminished, which again, we're just gonna do the minor 7 flat 5, which is technically the 7th chord version of this shape. And this one is gonna look like this. Rooted on that F sharp note on the A string like that, and then we resolve to G major, our 1 chord. Now, all you have to do to play in the other keys is look up or find the notes of any major scale in any key. Number those notes 1 through 7, apply the major minor formula, and move these chord shapes up or down the neck to fit. As I mentioned earlier in the video, I will have all 12 of the major scales, formulas, and chord shapes available to download as a neat little booklet on my Patreon, but you can also totally just Google them individually if you prefer. Now, there are also diatonic 7th chords for each key as well. This just adds a little extra flavor to each existing chord by adding another note from the key to each chord. And the 7th chord formula follows the major minor formula you already know, but with one little adjustment. So let's go back to our key of C major. Our 7th chord formula turns our 1 and 4 chords into major 7 chords, our 2, 3, and 6 into minor 7 chords, and our 7th chord into a minor 7 flat 5 chord, which you already know from before. The 1 chord that's left out and different here is the 5th chord. For that one, we have a dominant 7 chord instead of a major 7 chord. So if I play all these chords in a row, they all fit together. Now let me show you all the 7th chord shapes in the keys of C major and G major. We'll start with the key of C major. So our first chord is this C major 7, and you're gonna notice that they are very similar to the shapes you've already learned for the regular major and minor chords, just with one small tweak to turn it into that 7 chord. So C major 7. Our next chord is a D minor 7, looks like this. Then we've got an E minor 7. Now we go down here for our F major 7. Now I like to play this with my thumb here. Just makes the shape a little easier, but you can also play it like this if you don't like using your thumb. Next up, we've got that one weird chord. So we've got the G dominant 7. You're sometimes gonna see this written as G7. So if there's no major or minor, it just has a 7 next to it. You can assume it's a dominant 7, looks like this. All right, then next up we've got A minor 7 for our 6th chord. And then lastly, for our 7th chord, we've got that B minor 7 flat 5 that you've already learned. That doesn't change at all. And we resolve back to our 1 chord, C major 7. Now for the key of G major. First up, we've got a G major 7. Again, I like to use my thumb for this. You don't have to, you can use the other shape I showed you earlier. Then we've got A minor 7 for 2. Then we've got B minor 7 for 3. Then we've got a C major 7 for 4. Then we get to that 5 chord, the weird chord. So we've got a D7 or a D dominant 7. All right, then we go to E minor 7. And then last up, we've got F sharp minor 7 flat 5, the same shape we learned earlier. For resolve to G major 7. Once again, you can simply move these shapes up or down the fretboard to fit any chord in any key. Just make sure you line up that root note and you're good to go. The great thing about knowing all these diatonic chords is that now you can simply drag and drop them to create your own chord progressions. So as long as they're from the same key, you can mix 7 chords and the correct major and minor chords and all of that together to come up with your own chord progressions. Because they are diatonic and they're all from the same key, all those chord progressions are going to work and probably sound pretty good. Now, the one question you might be left with is, what about minor keys? Because you're covered for all 12 major keys, but we never talked about the 12 minor keys. So this is where a really cool music theory trick called relative keys comes into play. Relative major and minor keys share all the same notes and all the same chords. And it's super simple. If you take any major key and start it from the 6th note, you get its relative minor key. So let's go back to the key of C major once more. All I have to do is locate the 6th note, and that's my relative minor key. So in this case, the 6th note is A minor. That means that the key of C major and the key of A minor are relative keys, meaning they share all the same notes and same chords. So since you know all the chords in C major, you also know all the chords in A minor. We can do the same for G major. Just look for that 6th note. In this case, it's E minor, meaning the keys of G major and E minor are relative and share all the same notes and chords. And this works the same for all 12 keys. It's that simple. All right, as far as what's next, I'd highly recommend watching my video on something I call the chord roadmaps. It'll take what you've learned here and make it even easier to play this stuff in any and every key. I'll put a link to that up in the middle of the screen. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.